I used to follow the emotion and the rush of wanting to keep up with the Joneses and do everything that everyone was doing because I thought that the way that I was doing things was not the right way to do things, when in actuality it is exactly the way that I need to be doing things. And I have 14 minutes to talk here. Hi, welcome back. We've definitely been here before. It's definitely been a long time, I feel, since I've been here. Hello? Should I be closer? Should I turn the gain up? Hello? Is this better? Ugh. I'm not used to this, clearly. Hold on, let me lift this up. I just didn't want it in front of me. Okay, I guess we could do... Maybe if I lift this up, turn it down a little bit. The microphone will still be there. It will still bother me, but it's fine. Hi. It's definitely been a minute since I've been here. We've definitely played this game before where I go, oh my gosh, it's been a long time. And then I say, oh, I'm gonna be making videos again. And then I'll say, it's gonna come back. I'm gonna come back when I feel, you know, called to or whatever. And then a whole year goes by, maybe a little bit longer. It's probably been about a year, perhaps. I can't remember. I'll put it up somewhere. But the last time I sat here, I was so different. My hair was long. It is now short. My nails were long. They are also now short. And I am just better, to say the least. I have been through so much incredible change, and I have been shifting the content that I consume, because I used to mindlessly scroll, doom scroll on every social media platform, especially TikTok, and then everything with Palestine and Congo and Sudan and all of these other places that reignited the humanitarian side of myself, started shifting the way that I was perceiving life. And I was definitely in a place for a little bit where I was looking at my approach to creating, whether it was music, whether it was content, whether it was whatever, and I began to question, what am I doing? What is my purpose? What is my angle? Why does this matter to society? And I thought it was in my best interest to just take a step back, live life for a little bit, and understand my purpose, understand my why, reframe what I wanted from myself, of myself, how I wanted to show up in the world. And it was honestly the time of my life, not thinking about, oh, I haven't posted in this long, the algorithm's not gonna like me, my likes aren't gonna be whatever it was, or if I started or was more consistent back XYZ time ago, then I could have grown my platforms to this, but I didn't, and I lost that momentum. But I'm always a person that believes that everything happens for a reason, and if I had done that a while ago, I could have ended up on a path that I didn't want to be on. I could have been mindlessly creating content or being a UGC creator and doing things just so I can grow my numbers or that I can get the bag. And that is just not how I want to approach this. And it's also just not a way that resonates with me, at least anymore. So yeah, this time away has definitely been so refreshing, so rejuvenating. I mean, I literally chopped my hair off and this right now still feels long to me, But if there is one thing that I encourage everyone to go and do in life, maybe it's the Aquarius in me, but I definitely encourage people to just kind of disappear for a little bit. Disappear, figure out who you want to be, figure out what it is in life that calls to you and that makes you feel excited again, and just restart. Because every day that we wake up in the morning or at night or in the afternoon, I don't shame your game, is a new day, is a new opportunity to do and be exactly who you want to be. And that is really the way that I've approached life for a long time, but especially in what this last 8 months, maybe a year of me not being really around in the social sphere, both online and in real life. I don't go out in the way that I used to. And I am such a people person, but I'm also I love being by myself and doing my thing kind of person. In the past, I recognized that whenever I would be alone, I would have that inner dialogue of, oh, but you're not going out. These people that you typically hang out with are out and they're having a good time and you're not there. You weren't invited, or why didn't you go when they invited you? And it was so exhausting to live a life like that, where I felt like I needed to catch up with everybody, that I needed to show face or save face or people please in whatever way. And my peace now is so important. I slow down. I mean, that last bit right there, I was talking a little fast, and I do get passionate still and follow that passion, but I used to follow the emotion and the rush of wanting to keep up with the Joneses and do everything that everyone was doing, because I thought that the way that I was doing things was not the right way to do things, when in actuality it is exactly the way that I need to be doing things. And oh my goodness, I have been in my own little bubble for a little bit, that I started to become frustrated as to whether or not I was going to come back to socials. I mean, it wasn't really a question at the same time whether or not. I always knew that I'm drawn to creating content and making music and creating connection with people, especially on the internet. Tumblr girly and former oversharer on the internet that I am, I know that this space has something for me, and I've been consuming so many videos of encouragement from so many different female creators that are reiterating this concept of making a living for ourselves through the internet. And it's something that I've always been called to, but never took myself seriously, or never allowed myself to take myself seriously enough to show up and do it and be consistent. I had this friend before who told me once that, oh, you can't do podcasts because you're not consistent. Like, that's not something that you're capable of doing. And I really thought that, oh, this person sees that about me, that must be true. And oh my gosh, the amount of times that I've allowed people to speak negativity into my life and believe it is phenomenal. And I'm so sorry to who I was before, that I believed it and that I allowed myself to subscribe to these narratives that weren't correct for me. And so in this era, in me coming back to socials, I'm honestly coming with low-key a stick up my ass, because I'm quite frankly kind of pissed that I haven't been doing this, that I have known I've had this calling to share and utilize my voice, and I have allowed other people to infiltrate my brain and allow me to not. And it's so frustrating seeing how long it has taken me to get to where I am. And albeit, I also believe that everything happens for a reason. I have had to endure challenge after challenge, heartbreak after heartbreak, rebuilding after rebuilding in order to get to the person that I am right now for a reason. But at the same time, god damn, I wish I was here sooner. But obviously, as I said before, everything happens for a reason. But I'm just so excited to allow myself to just talk about anything, everything, to help people get out of dark places or uninspired spots or just wherever people are struggling in life, because I've been there. I have been the person who wasn't eating well, going to the gym 2 hours plus daily and struggling and trying to figure out like, oh, but I'm not reaching my goal, but I'm putting all this effort in. But like, you know, I was hypocritical in so many ways in life that now that I've learned and now that I've grown and now that I'm not that kind of person, I definitely want to share how I got here, why I got here, how you can get here, because it's possible. If I were to see who I am right now years ago, if I were to see who I am right now years ago, I would have been like, that's crazy. Like, that's not possible. Who is that? That is not me. I'm not capable of being that person. But she is, but I was, but I am, because I literally am. So, yeah. This was supposed to be like a quick, cute, hey guys, I'm back. Welcome back. And then the realization of how long it's taken me to get to this place and why I want to be in this place. I have been putting off making this video for several weeks now. And now that I'm here, I'm just like, why haven't you done it sooner? But we get back to that point of like, everything happens for a reason, blah, blah, blah. I'm into maca. This is my touch up throughout the day. I take a powder in the morning now, but oh my, the energy is crazy and I feel it and I see it. But yeah, I'm about to run out of space in like a minute, so I'll probably switch my SD card and come back. But wow, this feels really good. I'm excited. I'm so happy to be here again and to be sharing myself with the world, because mama, do I have a story for you? Do I have stories for you? We're in for a journey. We're in for a new era, because I'm tired of clocking into a job. I nanny and it's like 17 minutes away from my home and it's really chill. She like sleeps half the time, but like, this is not what I want to be doing past 2024. And much love and appreciation to the family that has given me this stepping stone. Baby got things to do. Baby got places to be, people to see, things to accomplish, and I'm tired of standing in my own way, and you should be too. So let me fix what I need to fix and I'll be right back. So I realized I should have been recording on this SD card because the last one had 14 minutes. This one has like over 140. What was I doing? Okay, now that we're chilling out, I was gonna take these headphones off. It's kind of cute. It's giving my hair the little flip out that I like. That felt good. How do we feel? Apologies for for the aggressive way that I started this video, but at the same time, and also that may be a separate video, haven't decided yet if I'm going to just combine it all together or if this is going to be a separate section video. How have we been? How's everybody? Missed you, missed me, missed doing this, even though I think I only did it three times. I think I did it 3 times and never posted the third one. So 2 times. I don't know how many times I posted last year, but the point is I'm back and I'm here and I can't roll my R's, and it's sad as someone who has colonized Spanish blood in her. I really can't roll my R's. It's depressing sometimes. Wow. Hi. I'm honestly kind of blacked out in that last section and feel like I've run out of things to say, but I know I haven't. Okay, so this one, I want to start it off. I've been reading, she's over there. I'm just gonna get it. I don't know why I'm like this. Okay, I take my pen and my light off. My little bookmark that I don't use as bookmark. Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes, PhD. So girly is educated and knows what she's talking about. And more than 2.7 million copies sold, 2 years on the New York Times hardcover bestseller list. This book is like my Bible right now as a woman, as a feminine energy. I had seen this book come up on TikTok probably a couple years ago. If I didn't, then it was hella deja vu when I had seen it pop up this past year. So I want to say it's August now, so maybe like May or June, I had seen it pop up on my timeline again. And I was in a place where I was, what was that? 4 or 5, maybe 6 months into the year. And I was finding myself in a little bit of a rut, definitely as a feminine. And I honestly, now that I've grown so much since then, I can't recall at the same time where I was because I'm not there anymore. But I was just not in a good space within myself, because I obviously am aware of the goals and the aspirations that I have for myself. And I get really, and I'm sure you guys can relate, I get really mean to my own self. I've written songs about it, probably have more songs about it, but I've had a tendency to abandon myself. And I've done that through relationships, friendships. I've done that in jobs. I've done that in the pursuit of my personal happiness. And I'm still working on reflecting on that. Not that I don't know. I think I understand where that all stems from. Daddy issues. You get the vibes. I was just struggling, point blank. I was just struggling at this point in time. And I saw this book come up. Can't remember the exact wording of what this video mentioned in regards to this book. I needed to change my posture. I was a little hunched over. Too much energy. Not too much energy. I've needed this. The maca is definitely what I've needed. Focus. Essentially, whatever this video was inspired me to purchase the book because I just felt called, I felt compelled. And when that video told me that this book was going to change my life, definitely changed my life. I want to say that when I had gotten this book was probably the same time I decided to cut my hair. Probably after I started reading that book, I did the chop. If not before, I'll probably after this I'll look into timelines and I'll confirm here whether or not that's accurate. I'm pretty sure it is though, because I've wanted to cut my hair for a long time, and I was so scared that I was going to look nanay or like a tita. And real life, I am a tita, but I'm like a young tita, and people still tell me to this day that I look like I'm in my early 20s when I'm actually in my late 20s. I passed my half birthday at the beginning of this month, so I am closer to 28 than I am to 27, which is crazy. I remember the beginning of the pandemic, I celebrated my 23rd birthday, and then just fast forwarded to this moment in life right now. Oh man, there was The video, it was talking about how when you need it most, you're gonna pick up this book and it's just gonna speak directly to what you need to hear. And I have a lot of those instances with this book, but one in particular that really cemented like, oh wow, this book really calls you back to it when you need to hear it most. I need to change my battery now. Arr. Back to what I was saying. So it was earlier on in me reading this book, maybe it was like less than a fourth way through. I'm about halfway through now. I'm taking my time, maybe 10-ish pages a day, maybe a little bit more if I feel compelled. But it's a lot in a really great way. There was just one day in the beginning where I was struggling internally. I was seeing friends that I used to be close with still going out, doing their thing. And don't get me wrong, I have much love for past close friends and people that I just simply don't align with in the same way anymore. And not that I shame them in what they do with their life and how they navigate it, but me personally, in knowing who I am now, the things that they do, I just wouldn't want to be there. So I was just having a lot of thoughts about spending a lot of time by myself and feeling as if I just didn't have my own people, that I'm just a lone wolf. I've been a lone wolf for a very long time, and I was remembering how much time I've spent alone in my entire life. And it's been a lot of my life that I've spent time alone, even though I still live with family. And I have 2 sisters, technically 4 siblings. 2 of them live in the Philippines, so I've only grown up with the 2 sisters. Story for another day. I've had a lot of friends. I dance and I have a lot of acquaintances and friends in that space, but I just don't right now have people. Like, I don't have a consistent, solid group of friends that I see on a regular basis, talk to on a regular basis. My best friend lives in Virginia, and so we're in a long distance relationship, and that's fine. Like, her and I are solid. Like, that's the thing that brings me a lot of peace is the reminder that the people that are supposed to be in your life, it's not gonna be difficult to keep them around. Like, time, space, distance. Space, I guess, is distance. It's not gonna change who's meant to play prominent roles in your life. That's just something that I know is fact and true. Anyways, I was having these thoughts and not wanting to scroll on my phone, so I picked up the book. And then where I had left off, the next section was, so the way that she navigates the book is she tells fables and folklore of ancient times or times before us. What is it? She dissects it and makes it more understandable and relatable to our present day experiences. And so the story was the story of the ugly duckling, and I just, wow, it was crazy, because literally moments before I was thinking about like, oh, I think it was a weekend that I had these thoughts. And so I was like, wow, I'm home alone again on a weekend, and I'm not going out and I'm not hanging out with friends. No one's hit me up to make plans. And I open up this book and it talks about the story of the ugly duckling and how it was essentially just put in the wrong place. Maybe by mistake, maybe on purpose. The ugly duckling, the frigid duckling, the swan, he's a swan at the end of the day. Traveling, was taken in by a farm and then was pushed out of the farm or something, and then goes from pond to farm to pond, just trying to find their way until eventually one day comes across a pond, and then the swans are looking at him, coming towards him to talk. And they're just like, you're one of us. And he realizes in the reflection of them, this is where he's supposed to be. I know that I'm on my way to finding my people. Maybe my comfort of isolation and not posting on socials in the way that I feel called to do has also prevented me from finding my pond and my people. But it goes back to that whole, I know that everything is happening with divine purpose and timing, so I'm not really too stressed on the fact that I'm not there yet. But you know, I'm human. Like it's a human thing to get caught up when you're catching what people are highlighting on their social media reels, for a second letting yourself fall into that narrative of, oh, I'm not doing what everyone else is doing. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm just not meant to XYZ, and that please, if there's anyone that you can take this advice from, please let it be me. Know that, I'm getting emotional. Please remember that you're gonna end up exactly where you're supposed to be. The path to change and to receiving exactly what you want in this life comes with having to give up and lose things. And I'm learning to not perceive people, places, and things exiting my life as a sense of loss, because they served their time and they served their purpose, and I thank them for the contribution to my life that they have made, because I wouldn't be the person that I am right now sitting before you if it weren't for those people, places, or things. And also remember that it's okay to fuck up. We're human. I was having this conversation with someone the other day, talking to him about Earth is hell. Not in the hell that we think of, flames, Lucifer, and badness, but this place, this realm of Earth, like we're not supposed to be perfect. If all of us were perfect, and if we were all given exactly what we were supposed to have from jump, we would not grow, we would not evolve, that would be paradise. And this isn't paradise. Not to say that we aren't worthy of achieving our dreams and creating paradise for ourselves in some way, but that's just not what this place is. You know, does that not make sense for Earth to essentially be this training ground of challenges and lessons? And I don't want to say challenge again, but like the challenge of whether or not you're going to show up to the plate or not, right? Am I wrong here? I know I'm not wrong, but like, come on. So I don't know where I really wanted to go with that. That was just, if you're a woman, maybe if you're a man too, I've posted some bits of this book on my stories, and I've had men like reach out to me to be like, hey, what's this book? It's fascinating. So I feel like that's a book for everyone, but especially for women, feminine people. It's really helped me step even more into who I've always been and have meant to be. Speaking out loud is so much different than speaking in my head or writing in my journal. It's crazy how much has changed. At the same time, it was just me allowing myself to be exactly who I've always known I am, but I was just scared of the repercussion of not being received in the way that I hoped I would be received. And I think that's just, what is it? I posted on my story like about colonialism and how we're not supposed to, there's just a lot of repercussions from colonialism, colonization. That's also another story, another topic that we can dive into on another day. I'm just glad that I'm utilizing my voice. That's also another conversation I was having with this same person. He asked me what my croissant was. If this is something that I just don't know about, like what your croissant is, please let me know if you have heard or have been asked this before. But he asked me what my croissant was, and then I had to ask what he meant, and essentially like your purpose, like what's your slice, I guess. I was talking about my voice. I said something along the lines of, I know that my purpose is to utilize my voice to heal and impact the world, whether it's just through talking, through making content of me speaking, or just having conversation with people, or if it's through my music and through other mediums of art that utilizes my voice, or maybe it's written word. I don't know. Like, your voice can come in so many different ways, but I just know that my perspective and my journey on life is so, and not to be like, my journey is so special, but I know I have this capability to express. Not everyone is gifted with that, and that's not a dig at anyone else. It's just the simple fact of not everyone's gifts are the same, and not everyone, although they may have the gift of gab or the gift of speaking or the gift of storytelling, not everyone wants to use those gifts. Why does that sound wrong? Not everyone wants to use them, or maybe there's just another gift that they want to use, and that's great. That's their choice. That's their life, not mine. I just know that I have been running away because I was scared, and it's okay to be scared. Something I have come to understand is that it comes to a point where you're either going to decide to take the action. Maybe it's one of three things. You're either going to decide to take the action, you're going to be forced into taking the action, or you're going to have that gift stripped away. That is so crazy and real. Maybe there's other consequences or whatever to that, but those three I for sure have witnessed firsthand. Like with my voice, I remember I hadn't made music in a minute. I also was just consuming a lot. I got into a period of time where I was a student. I was just a student. I wasn't applying any of the information into action. And so I was just consuming a lot, and I kept believing that I just wasn't ready yet. Like I needed to understand more before I took the action and I did something about it. And so, bless you. My stepdad sneezed. And so I was just watching a lot of videos, and I was reading my books, and I got sick, or I came down with something. I remember the same week the baby that I nanny was like sick with something, and then one of my dance teachers had posted that he had strep, and I had taken his class about 2 days before, and then I had not gotten a massage in a very long time. And so I decided at the end of that week, I was like, I'm just gonna get a massage. I feel so much buildup. And so on that Friday that I got a massage, hanging out with the same person, and then I was just like, I was feeling it in my body. I'm like, I just feel not well, and I'm nervous, and I don't know if it's just because like my body's holding a lot and I haven't allowed myself to release anything, or if I have like strep, or if I'm sick or something. So, and I thank God, I'm pretty sure I did not have strep. You know, your body tells you like what's up. You just have to listen. I had not been using my voice, and so I was getting, at the same time I was getting all of these calls to like make videos, to make music again, to utilize the gift that I have. I got a massage. It was an 1.5 hour long massage. It was so good. But I was purging so much that I got sick. And I guess this is something that happens if you hold so much toxins essentially and don't release them, don't allow them to be purged. It'll build up and then you'll get sick. And so I was sick, I was down bad. I had night chills and was literally shivering that night, but I was also hot, and so I was sweating. And then I just had a lot of mucus and phlegm, and I was coughing up so much. And I know I wasn't sick because it wasn't yellow, it was just mucus. It was kind of like clear. This is information that you don't want to hear. I'm so sorry. It was like clear or white, like kind of cloudy, but it wasn't yellow, like the sick kind of mucus and phlegm. So I just knew I wasn't sick, but I was sick with something else. My spirit needed to purge, whatever it was. And then I couldn't use my voice because I was sick and I was down bad. And whenever I get sick is always a time that I, as a performer and a vocalist, freak out, because this is everything to me. Like, it's the thing that I need in order to do what I want to do. One of my biggest fears is that that this really gets injured one day. And so this was several weeks, not several weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, more than a couple weeks ago, almost a month, maybe, probably about a month. It was the reminder that if I don't use this, it could be taken away. God will say, oh, you don't want it? Okay. You can't have it anymore. You don't need it. You're not using it. After that, I got back into doing my vocal warm-ups regularly, singing, whether it's in the car, whether it's just humming a little tune. Doors started opening up again. I connected with a DJ that I have been mutuals with for a little bit, and we've been trying to link and make music. Obviously, everything happens in its perfect timing. Him and I finally linked up a couple weeks ago, made a beautiful track that is in the works. If you saw my Instagram stories, you know which one I'm talking about. And that just, it's a domino effect. Once you take the action towards what you feel called to, it's open, fair game. It's open. I don't even know what I was trying to say. I don't think there was a through line in this. We're just here chatting and talking, hanging out, spending time, making up for lost time. But there's so much that has happened in the last 8 months of this year, since the last time I sat down in front of a camera and in front of a microphone and just chatted. I haven't been in therapy pretty much all this year because my last therapist dumped me because she was going away. And so I started with a new therapist. We just weren't vibing in the way that I wanted us to vibe. So I kind of ghosted her. I feel bad, but also we weren't too deep into it. So like, I also didn't feel bad, but I also recognized, because early on she had already made the suggestion to take me into like graduation, so like getting me out of therapy essentially in maybe our first session together. And at the time I was like, oh, so she just doesn't want, like, she just thinks that I'm done, like I'm done, I don't need a therapist. And I was scared, but then I wasn't feeling called to continue on, whether it was with her or just with therapy in general. And here we are in August, still have no therapist, and I have been okay, to be quite honest. Maybe there'll come a day where I really need that external help. I've been learning to lean on the people that I keep close to me, because I always found it so much easier to lean on people that don't necessarily care about me, like that don't have a deep emotional connection or bond to me, because it was a lot easier to keep the people that I kept close at an arm's distance or more. I also came to the realization, especially in the connection that I have been in with a particular someone, that I don't want that. Like I want to be held, and I want someone to be able to see me, and I want to be able to be my full self with someone, whether that's my family or my friends or my romantic interest. And that's just not a way that I've navigated life before. And so in learning how to not abandon myself, especially in that regard, I feel so much more fulfilled in life now that I approach it in that way. Now that I don't carry my past as accolades, and I don't shame people subconsciously that are present in my life for things that people who are not present in my life anymore did. Life is doing the lifing thing. What is going on here? Hold on. Okay. And it's a new era, and this video is getting quite long now, but kind of feel like talking still. maybe we'll make another video. We've talked about the ugly duckling. We've talked about continuing on our path confidently. And even though it's hard to be confident in what you're doing when it feels like you're doing the wrong thing because you're basing it off of what everyone else is doing, take the time to remind yourself where you want to go. Remind yourself, reflect on the person you want to be and what you're willing to do, what you're willing to give up, and what you're willing to sacrifice in order to become that person, in order to be that person. Because once you embody it in this present moment, you're already there. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Why not now? I'm probably gonna end this here because I've been talking for maybe 40 minutes already total. I'm glad to be back. I hope that this new era is going to be a consistent one, first of all, but also I just feel really good about it. There's something about where I am as a person in life. Life is also my name, so like I should be good at it. But something's in the air tonight. Something's in the feeling right. But you gotta hold on tight, cause I feel it. I'm letting myself be my quirky little self that I criticized and allowed other people to shame and forced into hiding a long time ago. But now I honestly don't give a fuck. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I do give a few fucks. There are fucks that I do give, but those are the fucks that I need to give. The fucks that I don't need to give, I don't give. And it's fun, it's nice, it's a relief, to say the least, that I am here now because there's no place I'd rather be. Okay, I think I'm losing my mind. Maybe I might film another video with a more steady topic. So if you see me in similar garb, don't judge me because that's mean. But I hope that you enjoyed this, whether you're watching it intently or just having me chit chat in the background. If you were not paying attention, that's a shame, but also do your thing. I don't blame you, love. I need to get back into my accents. I have not been working my accents. I gotta go for now. I will definitely be back because I like this. I miss it. Maybe it's the part of me that just likes hanging out with myself. But also, I got some shit to say. And people have been asking me to come back. People have missed me. And that's crazy. Good crazy. CRZY crazy. But I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm in a good place, and although I may not be exactly where I want to be just yet, I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and the acceptance of that is such a beautiful thing. I hope that through me sharing my stories, chit-chatting, letting you guys in, giving my 2 cents on this crazy journey called life, allowing my vulnerability to be seen by the masses, that it inspires and impacts someone's life in a positive and fruitful way, whether it's one person, whether it's 1,000 persons, or whether it's, shall I say, 1,000,000 persons. I'm happy to be here. I hope you are too. This has been a very long goodbye because I don't want to go, but I must. I'm just in awe with who I am and getting to see that. And I get emotional over it, but maybe it's the ashwagandha that doesn't let me cry. You saw me get teary-eyed earlier. I do get emotional. I'm just an Aquarius. It's just nice to see yourself be somewhere that you really, really hoped that you were gonna be one day when it felt like it was nearly impossible. And this isn't even it. Like this isn't the end. Like I have so much more that I am working towards that I just know for a fact I'm going to get to. And the inspiration that comes from knowing that I have made it this far into this place, into this evolution of myself, is more than enough encouragement for me to know that I'm going to get exactly where I want to be. It's just gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, and not in a timeline that I can put down on my planner and say this is the day that it's gonna happen for sure. I can aim, I can set aspirational timelines, but at the end of it, it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. And making peace with the unknown and having faith and trust in myself and the universe, because the universe always conspires in my favor. Write that down. I just know I'm gonna get there. And it's only a matter of time. Cue Hamilton. I've said goodbye so many times. What's the goodbye count? That's a lot. Don't know how many it's been. But I'm glad we're here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad I'm here. Wow. I love you. Be kind to yourself. Do something nice for yourself. Get some vitamin D. However you source it is up to you. Drink some water. Have some fruit. If you're allergic, don't have fruit. But yeah, do something nice for yourself today because you deserve it. And I love you. Okay, bye. This is so long. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.